Hello ladies and gentlemen. On this video, I want to discuss a rumor about Miss Beyoncé, who currently holds the record for most Grammy Award wins and just recently got her first Grammy for Album of the Year, as well as becoming the first black woman and artist to win a Grammy for Best Country Album. She is a pop star slash superstar that takes herself really seriously. In a GQ interview on September 10, 2024, Beyoncé was asked the question, "Why did you move away from music videos?" Which she responded, "I thought it was important that during this time where we all see is visuals, that the world can focus on the voice. The music is so rich in history and instrumentation. It takes months to digest, research, and understand. The music needed space to breathe on its own. Sometimes a visual can be a distraction from the quality of the voice and the music. The years of hard work and detail put into an album that takes over 4 years. The music is enough," end quote. Look, there is nothing wrong with having music videos for your songs, Beyoncé. A music video tells us a story or message and even helps the viewer to understand the music a little better. It's supposed to complement your song or else you're doing something wrong. Telling your fans to get distracted is insulting their IQ. While I completely understand how painstaking researching is because here I am doing a video on you, you are literally Beyoncé, Queen Bee. You can do anything like hire experts to join in your writing process.
Oh, damn, you wrote on 5 of the tracks.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And produced too.
And produced.
I
Oh
know.
Moving on. There's this conspiracy that's popular among conspiracy theorists that she is demonic, so I think they mean to say that she's mean and scary. The evidence?
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
So monumental, Beyoncé. It was so monumental and so well thought out.
And lastly, because I feel like there's so many goated artists, this is my last time up here. Beyonce, whew.
Beyoncé has just tied the all-time record for most Grammy wins ever by a female artist and by any singer, male or female. So congratulations, Queen Bee!
It's a meme for people to joke about it, but for some people, they neither have a sense of humor nor understand the context behind all these celebrities thanking Beyoncé. But before I proceed, I want to introduce myself, and hopefully you guys stick around. I'm just some guy making videos that interest me, usually anything related to music, specifically the lives or thought process of an artist, because I don't know, it fascinates me to understand how they made music in the first place. As someone who is aspiring to be a songwriter and an artist myself, aside from music, I love to review, analyze, or give commentary to movies. I am no way a casual listener of Beyoncé, so you don't need to worry about me being biased here, and like with most people, she shouldn't have won Best Country Album of the Year with her album Cowboy Carter. The album diverted away from the country genre for the most part, and her slapping around artists that sung country songs to be featured in her album doesn't make it a country album, period. One particular song from Cowboy Carter, called the Linda Martell Show, is an interlude that has Linda Martell, a black country singer that became a commercial success during the 70s, telling the audience that the next song would, quote, stretch across a range of genres. But it isn't just Yaya that stretched across a range of genres. The whole album was a journey that stretched across a range of genres. Beyonce's artistic vision in creating Cowboy Carter was to break the barrier of genre music. Here, Beyoncé made a post on Instagram on March 19, 2024, stating her reason for Act 2, Cowboy Carter, which by the way is a continuation of her previous album, Renaissance. Quote, "The criticism I faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work," end quote. This is a reference to her first attempt at the country genre with the song Daddy Lessons that got rejected by the Grammy Country Committee back in 2016. Then at the bottom of the same post, she writes, "This ain't a country album. This is a Beyoncé album." She doubled down on this in a promotion of her Cowboy Carter album in the Guggenheim Museum in New York. Now, this explains her reaction to her name being announced for Best Country Album of the Year because her intention for this album was never to create a country album. Cowboy Carter is a Beyoncé album. That's why when you listen to the album, it's not country, but the artist's versatility in making music that isn't limited to one genre. It's an album where all genres are welcome and where she is true to herself. She's not trying to be a country singer at all, and that's precisely the reason why I think it shouldn't have been nominated in the first place. That's like if Mitski, a half Japanese and half white American singer and songwriter, had her 2018 album Be the Cowboy be nominated as a country album just because it has the word cowboy in it. In 2023, however, her album The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We does touch on the country genre. Unlike Beyoncé Cowboy Carter, that album doesn't pick a fight on the country genre. Not to be that guy, but her song that blew up from that album called My Love, Mine, All Mine has over 1 billion streams on Spotify, while Texas Hold'em is yet to reach 1 billion as of today. I really don't think that the number of streams a song has mean you make good music, at least not always. If you're already famous or have the connection, it's going to be quite easy to get plays. Anyways, I felt that Beyoncé thought of herself more highly than the country genre. On the other hand, it's going to depend on your perspective. I don't think it's a country album as Beyoncé said, but I understand if it's a country album in other people's eyes. This is what Wikipedia says about it winning Best Country. Critics felt that the album genre, experimentation, expansive scope, and eclectic references aided an ambitious reimagining of Americana and country through the lens of their Black roots. For me, I feel like if you're stepping away from the country genre, I don't think you should call it country. Just how far are you going to go that we have to say that it's no longer a country song? I believe in blending genres together, but even then, people can recognize it to be both. I felt like with Act 2, the country genre has been buried in favor of the other genres. I believe there needs to be a balance, and Cowboy Carter does that terribly, so that's why I believe that no, it shouldn't win Best Country Album, and Beyoncé can vouch for me on that. I can at least understand her winning Album of the Year because frankly, and I know there will be people who will not like what I'm going to say, but the other nominees were just not as exceptional. So it's no surprise Cowboy Carter won as there wasn't much of a competition to begin with. I was originally going to say that Act 2 was a watered-down version of Janelle Monáe's earlier works, Metropolis and the Archandroid, who also participated in this year's Grammy Dancing to Michael Jackson as a tribute to the passing of Quincy. But I listened to Cowboy Carter again, and now I like this album. The first time I heard it, I assumed it was her trying to go country, which wasn't her intention at all. I think many people like to jump the gun and completely ignore or have no clue what direction the artist is going for. This album was about Beyoncé, Black music, and her stepping away from country, the genre, as she felt unaccepted, which Linda Martell herself also experienced that same cold shoulder as a Black artist doing country. Therefore, Act 2 was born from Beyoncé not being country enough, so she went on the opposite direction and accepted all the Black music like gospel, funk, rap, and blues, and reclaim back her ancestors' country music roots. I suppose my critique for Act 2 was that it would have been nice to hear Linda Martell, Dolly Parton, and Willie Nelson sing in the project instead of just talking. I understand it's a Beyoncé album, so it's going to be about Beyoncé, but I think if you're making an album where you're ostracized, why not sing together with these icons? Post Malone album 51 Trillion was also nominated for Best Country Album. At least for his album, Dolly P was singing in one of his songs called Have the Heart, and he included many country singers to be featured in the album. Though Beyoncé decidedly wanted to give a spotlight to modern music and to young Black country artists. She did sing together with Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, Shabuzi, Willie Jones, the Blackbird Girls covering Paul McCartney's song, tenor Adele, Brittany Spencer, Tierra Kennedy, Rhina Roberts, and there was also Rihanna Giddens on the banjo for Texas Hold'em. That's my problem with the album. Beyoncé neither utilized these Blackbird girls to sing country nor have them featured in more songs. Also, it would have been nice to hear Rihanna Giddens sing as well. Listening to the album a second time, I would say it's good enough to be beside Janelle Monáe's earlier works. Back where Beyoncé speaks about no visuals, I close my eyes and I see where she's coming from. Beyoncé has a gorgeous voice which tries to dive into different genres and its history of black music. While not sounding all that country, the album still displays her innovation and a rich, immersive listening experience. Initially, it was hard for me to digest, so I give it a while to process. I think unlike her other competitors for Album of the Year, she was more adventurous and had a lot of thoughts behind her project. Charlie's album Brad would come second on top because it too was bold and reflective in its direction, though not as interesting. I don't think it was that great as people make it out to be, just fun. As for Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, and Chappelle Roan, they lean on the safe route, and honestly, I was not a fan of their songwriting. Too cheesy for me. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start with the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards when Kanye West bullied Taylor Swift on stage.
I always dreamed about what it would be like to maybe win one of these someday, but I never actually thought that would happen. I sing country music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Bruh.
I think I've seen this film before.
Taylor Swift was only 19 years old when she received her first MTV award for Best Female Video, but Beyoncé still got to win an award for Video of the Year. Beyoncé immediately called out Taylor Swift's name to come on stage for the disrespect Kanye shown her.
I remember being 17 years old, up for my first MTV award with Destiny's Child, and it was one of the most exciting moments in my life. So I'd like for Taylor to come out and have her moment. Where are you?
Anyone can see that Beyoncé has class. She didn't have to do that for Taylor, but she knew it was the right thing to do. I remember seeing Single Ladies put a ring on it and loving the choreography and the simplicity of a black and white video. Really Vogue. As for Taylor's You Belong With Me, that song got me in a chokehold. The music video is a whole teenage rom-com under 4 minutes, and its storytelling is brilliant. If that song was also nominated for Video of the Year, she would have won that one as well. Pink, So What, Lady Gaga's Poker Face, and Katy Perry's Hot and Cold were also competing for Best Female Video at that time, so it was a fierce competition. Single Ladies actually comes from her album, I Am Sasha Fierce, which is the name of her alter ego on stage. However, we don't see her as Sasha Fierce. We all see her as Beyoncé from what I know. Artists like to use an alter ego to help them narrate a story. The most famous alter ego is David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust from his album The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, which he killed off because he didn't want to get stuck in a character throughout his career. And his announcement for Ziggy's demise actually made his fans cry. Beyoncé created Sasha Fierce because she needed some confidence, and when she became confident in herself as a performer, she didn't need Sasha anymore. I Am Sasha Fierce got many bangers, but her alter ego concept was a flop. It's as if Sasha never existed. In 2016, she released her best work yet called Lemonade. The album consists of different genres, which even includes her song Daddy Lesson. Yes, her country song. Daddy Lesson paid homage to the country genre yet was turned down for a country nomination, which begs the question, what qualifies as country? Because Chris Stapleton, a country artist's most streamed song, Tennessee Whiskey sounds like it could be an Amy Winehouse or a Beyoncé song. There are R&B and soul elements to it. Most recently, Luke Combs released a cover song of Tracy Chapman's 1988 song Fast Car on his album Getting Old. It became Luke Combs' most streamed song for that album and peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100 chart. He also won the Country Music Association Award for Single of the Year in 2023 for his cover of Fast Car, making Tracy Chapman the first Black songwriter to win Song of the Year at the Country Music Awards. The original song of Fast Car already sounds country to me. It's true that Beyoncé started off as an R&B group with Destiny's Child and gone to making more pop music when she went solo, but Beyoncé was born and raised in Texas and always had a country accent. Whereas Taylor Swift started off as a country singer before becoming more pop. I don't think we should be gatekeeping genres. Unfortunately, Lemonade lost to Adele's album titled 25 for Best Album of the Year. It features great singles like Hello and Send My Love to Your New Lover, but the album overall wasn't Adele's strongest album, and it was not better than Beyoncé's Lemonade album. After Adele got on stage to take her Grammy, she had some words to say.
But I can't possibly accept this award, and I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious, but my artist of my life is Beyoncé, and this album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental, Beyoncé. It was so monumental and so well thought out and so beautiful and soul-bearing, and we all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate that. And all us artists here, we fucking adore you. You are our light. And the way that you make me and my friends feel, the way you make my black friends feel is empowering, and you make them stand up for themselves. And I love you. I always have, and I always will. Grammys, I appreciate it. The Academy, I love you. My manager, my husband, and my son. You're the only reason I do it. Thank you so much.
People like to point out how scared Adele was of Beyoncé at this moment, but it's clear she was excited about winning this and nervous at the same time. It was an emotional night for her. In fact, Adele is a Beyoncé stan. When she first got the chance to meet Beyoncé, her idol, for the first time, Adele almost had a full-blown anxiety attack. Adele, who is also an artist, recognized the brilliance of Beyoncé's Lemonade. While I have huge respect for MIA as an artist, she too thinks Beyoncé is a villain.
I find it difficult that when people make it, they always fucking turn around and thank Beyoncé, because that's bullshit. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now. And even Adele, it's like fucking guns out for this bitch, because she's retired now. But her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager who is her manager. She signed to XL because of me. Nick Huggett was my A&R who signed her. And this bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyoncé. And I'm sick and tired of all of these fucking women who don't want to give respect to me because I'm a brown woman in music. If I was white, black, or Jewish, I would not be going through this. And that is facts.
I can sympathize with MIA on how blacks, whites, and Jews are seen as more important, while the rest of us who are also people of color are not pushed to high regards. However, Adele herself is a big woman that didn't need to get skinny to align with beauty standards. Adele didn't even make songs about her size to cater to an audience that can relate. What MIA said about Adele and calling her the B word is both shameful and disrespectful. It was all out of context too. Adele wasn't thanking Beyoncé because she helped her with her music career. She was thanking Beyoncé for her album Lemonade. Simple as that. Then there's Lizzo thanking Beyoncé.
You changed my life. You sang that gospel medley, and the way you made me feel, I was like, I want to make people feel this way with my music. So thank you so much. You clearly are the artist of our lives.
Once again, Beyoncé had an excellent album with Renaissance, which I hear was a better album than Cowboy Carter. That lost both the Record of the Year award and Album of the Year award. Harry Styles had no business winning Album of the Year. I find it funny how no one bats an eye when people idolize Michael Jackson. He started his music career at age 5, then becoming famous with the Jackson 5 at age 10, and at age 13 started off his solo career. Michael Jackson peaked during his 20s and into his 30s, whereas Beyoncé started performing at age 7, formed a girls group at age 9 until it became known as the popular girls group Destiny's Child when she was 16. And went solo at age 20. So like Michael Jackson, Beyoncé been doing music at a really young age. Like it or not, they got a legacy. And that's why people love them and celebrate them for their music. It's no surprise that Britney Spears came to praise Beyoncé, who also blew up at the same time during the late 90s. Both of them were just teenage girls in the music industry. So this fantasy about Beyoncé selling her soul to Satan is crazy talk. Internet trolls even took to X that Beyoncé was paid money to endorse Kamala Harris when in reality she wasn't given a penny. Embarrassingly enough, some people were quick to believe their claims with the bare minimum of not checking who these reporters are. And here comes Beyoncé Mama to clear up that accusation. So this has been flagged on Instagram as fake news and taken down. It's called false information. Sadly, other platforms with a lack of integrity still have it up. The lie is that Beyoncé was paid $10 million to speak at a rally in Houston for Vice President Kamala Harris, when in fact, Beyoncé did not receive a penny for speaking at presidential candidate Vice President Kamala Harris' rally in Houston. In fact, she actually paid for her own flight for her and her team, and total glam. They are not only lying and disrespecting Beyoncé's name, but they are trying to further discredit the power of our vice president. When does the lies and rumors stop? Of course you won't see this in the news. Beyoncé has a song called Freedom featuring Kendrick Lamar that is also in her Lemonade album that was used as the main song for Kamala's 2024 presidential campaign. Just saying, Lemonade should have won. I love Candace Owens, I really do, but she is also biased when it comes to Kanye West. She's like his guardian angel, so of course she's going to talk trash on Beyoncé because she needs to defend her friend Ye. Kanye West, who interrupted Taylor Swift at the 2009 VMA, is now seen as a hero because he saved Taylor Swift from Beyoncé. Beyoncé is the opposite of satanic. She is a saint and a Christian. From the beginning of making music with Destiny's Child to where she is now, she has always thanked God.
Wow. I want to thank God. Oh my God. I want to thank God for protecting me. Thank you, God. I am so lucky and I thank God every day that this is what I do.
Thank God. We want to give our praises to our Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Back on the clip of Lizzo thanking Beyoncé, she mentioned Gospel Melody, which is a song by Destiny's Child thanking God. It's time people leave Beyoncé alone, especially if you're a Christian yourself. I think that pretty much wraps up with what I want to say. Until next time, whenever that is.
Let's